All right, so today we are going to be taking a look at the S.H.Figuarts Natasha Romanoff, aka Black Widow. And this is by Tamashii Nation, and it's also a Disney exclusive. Or, I'm sorry, not Disney exclusive. I apologize. It is a Disney Deluxe figure. Anyway, whatever. I was grateful to get this figure from my wife for Father's Day. So, shout out to my wife. Thank you very much for getting me this figure. All right, now that I've gotten all that out of the way, let's get into taking a look at the accessories, because she comes with a plethora of accessories, let me tell you. So let's get into taking a look at those, and then we will take a look at the figure. All right, so starting off, she has, for one of the accessories, she has an alternate holster besides the ones that she has on her. Now these alternate holsters are for when you have her double 9mm. I believe they're 9mm. It's either that or they're 45s. I don't remember, but pretty sure they're 9mm. But anyway, these holsters they plug into the side of her leg. That way, I mean, the other ones do too, except for they have the actual guns in them. So you can actually pop those ones off right here on her leg. You can see I left them on. So these are the holsters with the guns in them, and they're on both sides. You actually pop these off, and then you can put these in its place. All right, next she comes with two 9mm that you can put in her hand. So I don't have this one in her hand, and these are very small, so that's why I'm using the Anti-Eternia He-Man Power Sword to show this off, so my hands aren't in the way, because these things are little. So here you have her handguns, and they're just casted in a black plastic. But there's the other one in her hand right there. And that's why I said, that's why you have the alternate holsters. So that way you can have these in her hands, and then the empty holsters on her sides. Next you have these two little handles, which actually plug into her backpack. That way you can see that, because her weapons are collapsible, they plug into right here into her backpack, which I'll show that all off in a little bit. I just want to show these off. They're just little handles that plug in, cast in black with a little silver on them. Yep, but we'll go over that in a little bit. All right, so next, this is what I like to call her batons. So these are her batons. So that's what those little handles are for when they're collapsed, because these all collapse. So these are what are sticking in out of her little backpack there are her batons. And they are just, they're detailed and they're really cool. I mean, like you can see where, how they collapse and everything. And then you have the silver with the black handles, then the silver around the edges again. But for the most part, they're just cast in a little black plastic. Pretty neat, pretty cool. All right, so where you actually have the double batons, now you have the actual baton with the actual hooks, the hooks sticking out. So you have the hook here with the blade sticking out of the actual baton, and it's actually curved. There's only one of these. So, I mean, whatever. They didn't put two like they did the regular batons. But this is cool. This is just another feature that shows off what her weapons can do. Same thing, it's the same thing, just this blade is sticking out. And of course they did a real nice silver, and you can see that it has a little serrated edge on it. And moving down, it's curved. And then you have the handles once again that are all just casted in a silver and black plastic. Overall, really cool weapon that she comes with. Okay, so I'm showing off the tray because she comes with tons of hands. So she has two sets of fists, two sets of open hands, and then you have the hand where it's either reaching for the weapon or pushing the clip in, two sets of trigger hands, two sets of baton holding hands, and then she has her Widow Sting hands, which have the Widow Sting on them. All right, so let's get into taking a look at this figure. All right, so with the paint sculpt, or let's look at the head sculpt first off. There's only one head sculpt, but what is that? It's like a little hair that's on there. That's on the figure itself. That was there when I pulled her out of the box. All right, I guess she's going gray. All right, so she only comes with one head sculpt. She doesn't come with an alternate head. And yeah, no, that head sculpt is beautiful. I mean, it looks just like Scarlett Johansson. Very nice, very well done. I have to say, this is another figure that is knocked out of the park as far as when it comes to these S.H.Figuarts figures. Now, as far as her red hair, you can see there's the highlights running through the red hair, and then of course to the back with all of her braids back here. Yeah, and then you can see all the little ties going through the hair itself. The beautiful color of the eyes, if it would focus on the face, not the sword. I mean, yeah, I mean the paint job is wonderfully done. Moving down to the actual suit, you have on the shoulder, you have a little bit of red on the actual armor. Then there's some texture going down the arm, and then you get to where her widow stings are, and nice gold color. The hands with the gloves, you can see the fingers are all nicely painted. And then once again on this side, same thing with the actual red on the armor with the texture and the widow sting. Moving down to the armor on the body itself, it's just black plastic. There's a little bit of a silver highlight on it to give it some detailing. And then we get down to the belt where you can see a little bit of red in that gold for the widow symbol on the belt. And then the gold itself, the belt comes down to her holsters. Moving around to the back, you have some gold buckles on the, loops over here for the belt. And same thing, here's her backpack on the back, and you have the red that comes through, and then right here are the ports for those little handles. Now, since we're at this point, let me just show you if I can get a hold of one of these little tiny handles that she has. They just port in just like that. That way it looks like she has the handles. Now with the articulation of, you know, her head, and then you have the actual braid, you know, the hair pulled back with all the braids, it will get in the way. But the cool thing about these is that they move. So you can move them to where they can kind of get out of the way when you're moving her around and doing some articulation. They are easy to come right out so they don't get broken if you drop them, pick them up, because the carpet monster will eat them. Also known, if you don't know what I mean by that, is your vacuum. All right, so moving down to the actual paint sculpt on the figure itself, as far as where I was at, you see the two holsters on the side. So since we're here, also you just pull that out. Now you have that the porthole there along with the plug, and then like I said, you could take the empty holster and you just kind of, I don't think this is the right side. No, because they have to go on their designated sides. Give me a second, I'll be right back. I lost that thing. Okay, now that I found the small little holster, they are designated sides, which I really didn't bother to take a look at when I grabbed the one out of the package, so I do apologize for that. So you just kind of take the holster, slide it in there, and there you go. Now you have the empty holster on the actual side. If you don't want that because they are small pieces, take it out, and then you can have it, you can leave her with the guns in on the sides there in the holster, which is fine too. All right, so then moving down to the legs, you have more detailing with the straps that wrap around the leg, coming down the actual bodysuit itself, and you have a bunch of texture in here. Now, I don't know if that's coming through, but you can see the texture right here on the legs. And then moving down to her knee pads, moving down to her boots, you have the straps, go down to the armor, and then down to her actual boots, where she has her, well, they're not laces, but they're just kind of like, well, almost like kind of like a Velcro that goes over the boot. Yes, they're strapless. And then moving on to the back, you have a little bit of texture here of the actual boot itself, and then moving up to the actual figure. So that's it. Not a whole lot of paint, but the paint that is on the actual figure is good. All right, so give me a second. We'll go over some articulation. I'm going to try and put her into some poses so you can see a couple other things with this figure, and then, like I said, we'll bring this review to an end. All right, so I did the best I could with posing the figure to give you guys some kind of outlook on how you can use some of these accessories. That's the reason why I put them into poses. This is why I do what I do. Now, really quick, before we get into taking a look at the articulation of this figure, I just want to show off something I forgot to show when I was doing the accessories, is that when you go to put these in her hand, okay, come on, you can do it. Okay, unblur. There we go. All right, so when you go to put the accessories in hand, do not try to shove these in the hand because you will break it. Just gently pull it apart, slide this through, and then push this on. So not only does the hook baton do that, but the regular two batons, both of the batons here, also do this as well. So when you just pull it apart and then slide it through and then just put it on. That's it. All right, now let's get into taking a look at this figure's articulation. Yes, I left her gun in her hand because that's just the way I did. All right, so with the articulation, starting from, and I don't know why this keeps doing this, but anyway, starting with the head, can she look up? No, she cannot because of her braid in the back. This is as far as she's going to look up. Looking down, she's got a great, she can look down like crazy. Just you can't get her to really look up. She can look side to side, and she has head tilt to give her some expression with the alternate head tilt. Yes, the baton handles on the back, they do move to get out of the way, so when you turn her head, you can move them, that way they're not. But just be careful because they will pop out of the back. Now, as far as she does have a butterfly hinge when it comes to the shoulder, and the shoulders move and her arms move up. They can go all the way around, of course. I mean, you know, with that butterfly hinge. Then moving down to the elbow, she has a double hinged elbow, so you get some nice articulation with that as well. Then moving down here, she does have a slight forearm swivel, so you can actually swivel. It's actually an elbow swivel. Okay, moving down to the wrist. Now she has the wrist articulation as far as a wrist swivel, and then the wrist bend. Depending on how you want to maneuver this peg, you can get her to have the up and down. And if you actually pull the hand off and then turn it, you can get side to side with it. But that's really cool that you can get the up and down pose with this. Moving down to the abdomen, she does have this ab crunch here and then the lower, so that's about as good as you're going to get when it comes to an ab crunch. And then bringing her back up, she does have waist swivel. Everything is tight, and then she does have a little bit of swivel at the top. So that way you can get her into the poses that you, well, that you're going to be able to get her in. Now this is S.H.Figuarts, like I said, and it does have some good articulation. Some of it's very difficult. You want to be careful because, well, they're not exactly cheap figures, but they do have some good range to get them in some good poses. Now moving down to the actual upper thigh, she has that upper thigh swivel. She can do the splits. That's a lot better than most figures out there. And then moving down to the knees, she has a beautiful double jointed knee which comes all the way up. That's nice. That is a nice double jointed knee. Moving down to the ankle articulation, she has ankle pivot, and then her foot can pivot back that far and it can move forward this far. And then she has the front toe hinge. So very nice as far as the articulation. Like I said, it takes a little bit of doing. Just be careful with them because, like I said, S.H.Figuarts are not exactly cheap figures, and you don't want to break them. You want to maneuver them with a little bit of ease and care to get them to move the way you want them to move. And yes, be careful that you don't lose the batons. You don't have them popping out. So yeah, I mean, as far as this figure is concerned, I love it. And I think she's an awesome addition to my collection, if I can get her to actually do what I need her to do as far as while I'm in front of the camera. There we go. I think that's a better, another good pose. All right, so that's it for the articulation. Now let's get into ending the review. Give me 1 second. All right, now that I got her back into the pose that I wanted to have her in, I just want to say a couple of things. Yes, thank you to my wife. Thank you very much. It's a great gift that I got from Father's Day from her. It was awesome of her to get this for me. And yeah, I'm gonna put it with the rest of my Avengers that I have on the shelf, and she's probably gonna stay posed just like that because I like that pose. I'm not saying that you can't get her into poses, because you can, and it's a great. S.H.Figuarts did a great job with this figure. I have to say, with the head sculpt, it is spot on. At least in my opinion, it is spot on. You know, eventually they'll probably come out. Somebody else will come out with one, and they'll have a better head sculpt. Me, I'm fine with what I have here. Yeah, I mean, fabulous job. Once again, thumbs up to S.H.Figuarts. My wife ordered this. I don't know. I think she got it from BBTS. But with that being said, that was awesome of her to pick that up. Another shout out to her. Thank you very much. And yeah, so guys, I hope you liked this review of the Black Widow, aka Natasha Romanoff, or actually it's Natasha Romanoff, aka the Black Widow. But before we go, I just want to do a comparison with the only figure that I have out right now to do a comparison with, and that is Anti-Eternia He-Man. And you can see she stands right there with him. I mean, she's a little shorter, but that's okay, because in the end of the day, when I put her with the others, or if I put her with G.I. Joe Classified, or whatever the case, she's going to stand out, as far as, not stand out, I mean fit in with them, because she just will. She's going to fit in with them, and it'll be perfect, and it'll be all right. She's going to be shorter. She's not going to be the same height as everybody, which that is a great thing, because you got to have that height difference when you have these figures and you have them on your shelf, so everything can be within scale. So guys, with that being said, once again, please like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment down below. As always, please hit that notification bell so you never miss out on anything new that I am putting up. And yeah, I appreciate all of you guys, from the new subscribers to the old subscribers. Thank you so much. Please share these videos so that way the YouTube algorithm will keep this channel up and moving, and sharing the videos, that's how it works, and that's how you're gonna, that's just how it works. I mean, I don't really understand fully on how everything works, but I know that helps. And the thumbs up helps, so if you like the video, hit a thumbs up. That's always going to help out, and sharing the video is always going to help out. And I love it when you guys leave comments. I always answer every comment that somebody leaves down below. If I forgot something or I didn't mention something, leave it in the comment down below. And then with that being said, guys, I will catch you all on the flippity flip.